Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get straight into it. So, a while ago, you can search my videos and look up my YouTubes, and you can see I did a video about Russell Wilson, right? And I was trying to figure out how did Russ get this trash, right? Actually, I believe that was last season. Okay, so they had a terrible coach. They just may have another terrible coach. Definitely not a touch coach because it's been a while since he's actually coached. Um, but Russell Wilson, day to day, week to week, looks like he looks like the worst quarterback in the NFL. Not even one of. He looks like the worst quarterback in the NFL. Like I would take G Minshew. I think G Minshew could manage a game better than Russell Wilson right now. I think Kenny Pickett. I think Daniel Jones. Um, I almost said Mac, but then I realized Russell Wilson may not be the worst quarterback in the NFL. It just might be Mac Jones. Um, but he looks like the worst quarterback in the NFL, and it's kind of boosting me out. So Russell Wilson gets the offline hate, which makes people very biased toward his play, right? The off the field, corny, wear Hawaiian shirts and whatever. I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Um, but that's definitely people calling him corny. That's definitely skewed his public, view or whatever, right? Um, but week to week, every game I see, for that first half, he looked like the worst quarterback I've ever seen. The Broncos look like the worst team I've ever seen. Mahomes, I don't know what's up with the Chiefs offense. Mahomes doesn't look Mahomey. I don't really know. He doesn't look flawless, I guess, which is pretty much how he's looked over the last couple of years, just flawless in his play. He's throwing multiple picks, bad picks, ducks. Um, the Broncos is probably the second worst defense in the NFL, and they really couldn't push on. I mean, the score was like 16-8. Zach Wilson looked good against this team. Miami put up 70 against this same defense like 2, 3 weeks ago. And the Chiefs just had a 16-8 game. So the Chiefs definitely the wide receiver. We'll talk about that in another video. But I was looking at Russell Wilson's stats, right? And one of the big things I see toward last year and this year is that last year he had 16 total touchdowns. This year he already has 12. So this year has already been an upgrade to last year. Because again, last year he had 16 touchdowns. And this year he already has 12. So this year's offensively, the Broncos don't look crazy bad. He just looks really bad. I really don't know what's up. So I want to look at his stats and look at the previous years. His last season with the Seahawks, he had 25. I believe he was injured that year. Let me see if they got some games here. Now he played 14 games. He had 25 touchdowns and 6 picks, just 6 picks. Last year he had 11 picks. This year he's already thrown 4. So the last year Seattle, he threw 6 picks. He had 25 touchdowns and 6 picks, right? And he threw 3,100 yards, right? Didn't throw for the crazy amount. The previous year, 2020, 4,200 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, 13 picks. He has some high picks right there. That year is the most picks he's ever thrown in a year, which is 13. The year before that, 31 touchdowns, 5 picks. The year before that, 35 touchdowns, 7 picks. The 2 years before that, this is 17 and 16. He threw multiple years of multiple double digit picks. 11 and 11. Made that 34 touchdowns, 21 touchdowns. 16 was just I don't know what 16 years because he threw for 4,200 yards, but on that 21 touchdowns, basically, which is his third lowest total. But basically, what I'm saying is there's a consistency to Russell Wilson, and we can come with the, what's the type of quarterback? System quarterback. But when you throw in 35 touchdowns to 7 picks, and 31 touchdowns to 5 picks, and 25 touchdowns to 6 picks, to me that's not really. And you throw in 4,000 yards. There's multiple 4,000, 4,200, 3,900, 4,100, 4,200. He has multiple, and everything else is 3,300 on up. I'm just naming the 4,000s. So it's not like I just can't explain it. How can a guy who was seen again, he's been in the league like 11 years. He's a smaller quarterback. There's some bumping and grinding that going on when you're a smaller quarterback. It's been 11 years of hits. Um, if you look at what I'm looking at, he was sacked 55 times last year, which is the most he's ever been sacked. Right, the total, yeah, he got sacked 51 times in 2018. Everything else is in the 40s, is in the mid 40s, right? So last year he was sacked more times than he's ever been sacked, plus four. And again, that 51 he was sacked was in 2018. The last year to Seattle, he was sacked 33 times, which is the lowest. So the last year in Seattle, he had a solid year, which I don't get, so I don't get the split between him and your boy, because it's not like he went out of Seattle trash. But this jump to Denver, who I think has done an awful job putting any type of weapons around him. All these teams think they can just get a great quarterback or what they see to that, and they can get them subpar receivers. Like, look, bruh, everybody, Deshaun Watson did that shit one year. Not everybody think everybody can do it. Deshaun Watson, maybe 3 years ago, had a season before the freak news came out. He had a season when he had an excellent year, it was a fantastic year, and he had no notable receivers, right? And he had a fantastic year. He threw for over 4,000 yards. It could have been damn near 5,000 yards. But that season kind of put him on the map to where the Browns would make such a stupid ass decision where they would give him so much guaranteed money. But he, that year has been stuck in everybody's head that all you need is a quarterback who makes the receivers. No, if you look at any great, bruh, Peyton Manning didn't make Marvin Harrison. He didn't make Reggie Wayne. These guys were already a fucking beast. These guys are already good. You don't make these guys. I think that's like the perception. They think Brady, because Brady went all these years with no real receivers. I mean, he had Moss. We talk, people always bring up Moss. Dog, Moss was there like 3, 4 years. Like it wasn't 8, 9 years of Moss. If it was 8, 9 years of Moss, we'd be in some pain. We'd be in a lot more pain than we already was in watching these motherfuckers win. We didn't get like 8, 9 years of Moss and Brady. I like Wes Walker. I like Amendola and Edelman. I like all these niggas. But they within their schemes, they're still good wide receivers, not calling them trash. But them within their schemes, you got the greatest quarterback ever, you got maybe the greatest coach ever. That's a totally different. oh, you can't you can't hold anomaly seasons. No, it's not anomaly season. It happened before. But well, I mean, as far as Deshaun Watson having a quarterback kind of just distributing the ball to quote unquote no name receivers and having a good year and having an efficient year, the Texans still ain't do nothing. They still ain't win nothing. But you see how Mahomes is struggling without a wide receiver. He with just his tight end who's always open, by the way. He's open every play ever for the last 10 years. I don't know how long he's been in the league. But Kelsey's open every single fucking play. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's scheming. What he's open. He in the playoffs last year, he was open. Every year he's open. Every game he's open. And they have no notable wide receivers I think we could be looking at with the Chiefs. I'm getting off topic, but I'm rambling. But I think we could be seeing with the Chiefs the enemy effect being gone. Mahomes look lost, and they do not have a consistent wide receiver to throw it to. Mahomes is one of the greatest, bro. Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. If it wasn't for Brady being so crazy with the Super Bowl, Mahomes would already be my number one best fucking quarterback ever. I don't care. It would be in stone right now. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers. I know Aaron Rodgers is a beast. Mahomes would be my number one right now if it wasn't for Brady. Mahomes need a fucking wide receiver. So what you think Russell Wilson gonna do with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy, no running back? They're running three running backs, nine rushes, five rushes, running back by committee. The worst defense in the NFL, or at least second worst defense. What is Russell Wilson supposed to do with that? And still, he looks like trash. He has nothing around him, but at least quarterbacks. And again, his stats is looking okay. He's thrown for 1,300 yards. His 12 touchdowns again, which is four less than the total of his entire last year. In 6 games, he has 12 touchdowns. Last year, he played 15 games at 16. So his year is already better. But he still looks trash. What I want to know is, has any quarterback ever went from looking like Russ has at least been a top 5 to 7. We can debate about whatever the three is. Brady is always in a conversation. The last, I guess, 6, 7 years, Mahomes is always one or two, or however you want to put it. But Russell Wilson for the last since 2017, 18 has at least been a top 7 quarterback at the very least. So, can somebody explain to me how is he so trash right now? What is going on? Is it Denver? Is it more than just Denver? Is it everything combined? Again, last year he was sacked more times. Excuse me, he was sacked more times than he's ever been sacked before. That kind of matters. He's a brand new system. It was a terrible coach. We know it's a terrible coach. And they have a new coach who probably don't want him as a quarterback. He came in with some disparaging words, very, I would say, halfway. Uh, I wouldn't, you can say if they're disrespectful now, but it's words you don't really say to the media. Talk about him basically being fake. Um, so it's not a great situation. It's not a catered situation as it should be for quarterbacks. How did Russell Wilson get so trash so quick? Somebody help me out. Holla at your boy.